Hello and welcome to the new dashboard tutorial for Qlik Sense. And in this dashboard tutorial, I will show you this dashboard tutorial from scratch. So as you can see on your screen, what we are having is the retail sales dashboard, and we have created here these multiple KPIs like the current year month to date order amount, the current year to date order amount, previous year to date order amount to compare how many order we got previous year say till the same time, and current year to date is how much we have got it. Now current year average discount amount and the previous year average discount looks like we are not giving a very high discount, and then we have some filters down below, the trend chart basically to show how many reward members we have, we don't have, and somewhere we don't have the status. So lot of places where we don't have the status. Then information about orders by city, where we can look at where the highest orders are and where the lowest order. As you can see, relatively same orders, but here, over here and over here you have the highest orders. Down below you have three different charts. Let me just deny that. So you have three different charts which is basically showing you the information by state, and then finally what do we have is the top 5 transactions. So this is just to give an idea about how you can create a fully functional dashboard like this, where you can come and look at, let's say for a particular state, you want to look at the information and you want to uncheck that and just want to see the Georgia, all the KPIs and every information, it will be updated by this. And over here basically it shows sales and orders, amount, transaction, and what is the discount and stuff like that. So a lot will be covered. We will look at some of the side of the scripting as well to create a calculated field for this requirement, and then how you will going to configure all of these KPIs and this visualization step by step. So a lot of learning in this dashboard tutorial, and I want to make sure that by the end you get the entire information. If you are a beginner or learning the Qlik Sense, then it should be useful for all of us. So this will going to be a complete Qlik Sense tutorial or a complete end-to-end Qlik Sense tutorial dashboard, where we want to learn how we can create a dashboard like this so that you can replicate in your actual work scenario. Okay, so for that you need to basically come and log in into the Qlik Sense. If you are not in Qlik Sense, so make sure you come over here and simply say Qlik Sense. Let's say you don't have any idea, simply do a Google search of Qlik Sense login, right? And over here you find couple of options like Qlik Cloud, Qlik Analytics. I think logging in into, no, not this one. Over here I think you can come over here on the Qlik ID, and this will basically show you the login screen over here, and you want to log in into the Qlik Cloud. So just make sure that this is where you are clicking. If you have, since I have this, so it is showing me the information for my dashboard. Let's say I don't have it. Let me just log it out. Okay, so I log out, and in that case it will basically take my email and my password. If you don't have it, you need to click on sign up, right? Once you click on the sign up, it will take you to the screen where it will ask you the email address, your password, and it will send you a code to your email address which you need to confirm, and you sign up. Once you have done the sign up, it will ask you to confirm your account. So make sure you confirm your account and then you can sign in. So for signing in, we will come over here. So it's a normal process like you have done for every other site. It asks certain details and you move ahead with that. So I'll click on the login, and that's where I will show. While it is logging in, a quick information that these are the dashboard, a lot of dashboard I will going to post it in upcoming days on a various different subject for a complexity level of beginner to intermediate level. But you have an interest to learn the advanced tutorial, then in that case you can come and join my training classes, where I keep the information about, or I train you on the advanced Qlik Sense dashboards. Okay, so this is my profile information, and I need to come over here and I need to click on my Qlik. Okay, so that will take you to your Qlik account, and this is where I will be having the information about when I started, when it will going to end, and then this is a trial version, so it will going to be there for 1 month. Okay, so I am here, and again click. So this is my Qlik, and Qlik Cloud will basically take me where the interesting stuff is happening. All right, so here once you have logged in, it will show you your application that I have recently created, which I was showing you as well. So I will click on, make sure you are under home as it was showing you. So under home, it basically gives you what you have, and I have this retail dashboard which I can click, and it will show all of my information over here, which I was showing you earlier as well. So then what we can do is to create an application like this, we need some data, and the link is present in the description, so you can get the details from there, and I will show you step by step how you can do all of the configuration. So what I'll do is you have this thing, right? So what do I need is I will just come and click one more time, Qlik Cloud, so that one more window is opening from where I can take you show you everything from scratch. So I will move this away on my second screen so that I can keep taking a reference wherever I'm forgetting about anything around the what is a KPI that I have used and stuff like that. All right, so I am under home. So you have getting started. Just a quick information that this is what your getting started screen looks like. This is what saying welcome Abhishek, and start with data, analyze sample data, learn how to analyze, explore the demo, so on and so forth. Okay, so but for us, what I'll do, I'll click on add. Okay, in my add, I will new analytics app is something which so you have an existing app, you can download upload it, but I will going to click on the new analytics app. Okay, so I will going to get it order summary dashboard. Earlier it was sales dashboard, it is order summary of all the orders in the data set of the company, let's say, just to make it generalized, and open app, right? So click on create. So once you will create it, it will ask you to bring the data. So as you can see, it is bringing this. You have data catalog, already a data that is available to us. You have file and other sources, and you have data load editor. So we will click on file and other sources, right? And this is where you will see that drop here a file or click here to select a file. So this is where I will go, and I think for me the data set is present under here in the retail transactions. Yep. So for this I will give you that this file is already will be replaced by the retail transaction. So it is saying that it will replace it. So I said, okay, go ahead, replace it. All right. So once we have this information, as you can see, it is basically telling us what is the file format, embedded names, location, that is a reward number, reward member, true or false or blank, summary of number of items that was sold, discount, and order, I think transaction value or order amount, transaction date, transaction time. Okay, so we have this information, and then we click on next. So what it does, it processes this information and takes some time to then bring the information for us. So I'll close it. You have a couple of options, like you can explore the data, you have the question, you can ask it, and create new analytics with which you can step by step you can go in and create new analytics. But before we do any of this thing which is under here, I will come and look at the data manager, or give you a look and feel of data manager. So this is what our table is, retail transaction. This is where, as it is showing you, model your data here. If you have multiple tables, you can establish a relationship and you can load it. So here you can add more data from here or more tables from here, and then I'll click got it over here, and then we have this transaction date and all. So I want to know more about this, for example, whether this is properly coming or not, or this is properly coming or not. Right now it is not showing me anything. The only thing I can figure it out with the help of this is number of items is numeric because it is right aligned, and date is right aligned, that means it is numeric or properly formatted. right? Nothing other than that. Or this is text because it is left aligned. So this is how you as a data analyst should always be able to tell just by looking at the data. If it is right aligned, it is a number. If it is left aligned like this, it is a text value. So this is an expertise which comes over a period of time. And then you click on this pencil icon, which will take you to this new screen. What it basically allows you over here is to analyze your data. For example, this is date, right? So you can come over here and say date field type is date, right? And display format, you can set it based on what the display formats are given over here. But transaction hours, if you see, is a general. It's not a date or timestamp, right? If I try to click on timestamp, and it will ask me what is my input format. So let's say I say this, and how should I display it? Let's say like this, and I click OK. It doesn't give us anything, right? So what I can do is I can undo this operation so that at least my original value is coming here. So this is very important, right? Because transaction hour basically tells, let's say during which time the transaction is happening. Is it like during the noon, during the evening, where? So it basically shows an interesting information or trend about, what sort of details that your data is having. Okay, so since we don't have it, and let's say we have a need where we want to combine these two fields. Maybe we combine it, or maybe we just want to convert this. So first I'll show you how you can convert this into simply a timestamp information, right? Because you don't want that it is simply present as text. It is present as with a proper format so that you can do the manipulation on this. Okay. So for that, what I'll do is I'll come over here and click on add field, which is a calculated field, and I will call it transaction underscore hour, and I will call it n, which is new field, just to say that it is a new field. And right now I can simply bring in transaction hour field over here. I started writing TRAN and gave me the field name. But before that, I need to wrap it around the function called time hash, which basically takes the text expression or this text field and asks us so what should be our format of expression. So our format of expression, if we need a proper hour and minutes detail, that will be HH colon MM, as you can see, hour, minute, and then this time, which is AM and PM. So space TT and then close it. So single quotation, put the single quotation, this should be under your single quotation, and this will convert your text value or general value to a proper timestamp for doing any data manipulation. And as you can see, this is what the output is. So you click on create, and this basically creates your transaction hour. Same thing, but if you see, this is left aligned, that's why it is text or general. This is right aligned, that means it is a proper formatted value. Now a situation may come in for you that you want to combine the transaction date and the transaction hour as well. So what would you do in that case? You want to just combine these two fields and make sure that this is coming for you to create a new field where you have both the values together for manipulation or chart creation. So you click on the create calculated field, and I will say n, that means new transaction date and time. Okay, now in this, first thing first, what we need is date hash function to interpret or to format the date properly, though it is properly formatted, but I'll just make sure that it is there, transaction underscore date, comma, this is our format DD YYYY. So whatever is the format in your case, right? And now we just need to wrap it around inside the timestamp function. So what timestamp basically does is it takes a date and time and then produces the output. So timestamp, we have the date and a small tweak, a trick, that plus sign and then say time hash, the same one which we did it over here, and then in that we say transaction hour, right? And then we say HH, MM, and then TT to indicate AM and PM, and then close the single quotation and close the bracket for timestamp. And this is where your timestamp is. So this is a small scripting which I covered, but very tricky and very useful in scenarios where you want to have a combined date and time. This is a common scenario in the databases where you have situations like this, where either you have to convert just time into a proper time. So we did this over here, or you need to combine date and time. So use this formula, okay? Create. Once it is created, it's present here. Now we will, once all your operation is done, make sure you click on load data, and this will going to load the data for building the visualizations. So this is a small scripting part. I wanted to show you how you can do that. The date manipulation you will do a lot under different circumstances that you are in. Okay, so we will close this. Now this is done. So what we'll do is we'll come here in the analyze sheet. You have many different options, but what I usually do is I have the sheet information and I click on this, I'll click on the create new sheet, and we will call it sales order summary, right? And we will come over here and we will click on the edit sheet. That is what I was looking for. Why it is not coming? So usually it comes, but anyways, we have this. Now, once we have this information, what do you have on the left hand side? If you are coming over here, you have the fields. In the future videos, I will cover the master items. Very useful for those repetitive scenarios. So what you have is the fields, right? And I'll show you a special field called transaction date, which was having just the date, right? And what it does is, based on the date, you can see how many different fields it creates. So these are all the derived fields like year, quarter, month, year to date, quarter to date, month to date. These are all the different date fields that one need to create. What Qlik Sense does is automatically creates it for you, right? So make sure you utilize this so that you don't have to spend time in creating these fields, okay? So once we have this, now the scenario is we need to create the KPIs and the visualization. So for that, what do you need to do? You need to make sure that your KPI is selected, which is this, right? So this is a KPI. And right now what I'll do is I'll click on add and I will click on the order amount. Where is that? Here you go, order amount, sum of order amount. As you can see, very simple, very easily. So far till date, I know that 9.66 millions of order have gone. Now the only problem is that the title is not coming proper, right? So we will say here, I click there. So order amount is my label. So order amount. Now the proper value is coming. Now in this scenario, what I want is, I don't want the full order amount. I mean, that's good. But let's say for my scenario, I just need the order amount for my current month, which is running on, or the latest month, which is there in the data set. So what do? I will then have to utilize these filters. So I will click on the filter, and as you would expect, I have in MTT. What it is having is 0 and 1. 0 indicate false, that outside of the month. 1 indicates yes, this is month to date. So you will click on that. So now you will see that the order amount that you are having is 4.14 million. But this is something we need to be very much aware, since month gets repeated every year. And if you have multiple years worth of data, like in this case I have 2019 and 20, then you need to make sure that month to date you fix it on a particular year. That means the latest year. So I'll click on add. Again, one more filter, where I will say my year, this is equals to the latest year, which is this one. So as you can see, for the latest year, my month to date order amount is 3.18 million, right? So very important for you as a concept, that not simply use this field, but use it logically, that month to date can be repeated for 2019 and 2020. So make sure it is filtered on the latest year. So this is a logic thing, and this is where you can see month to date is true and year is set on the 2020. So you can then modify this year to date and what I call it CY current year MTD order amount. So clearly indicate that it is a current year month to date order amount. Your labels should be absolutely self-explanatory for your end user. Now once we have done that, I will click on add. This will add one more KPI. I clicked here if you have not seen it. Okay. And to create, I can add the item over here if I need to create another row. So right now it is basically we are creating first column, second column. And in this, what do we need? We need one more, let's say, and this time we will create a variation of this. We will create, this is a current year month to date. Now we will create current year year to date, right? So what do we need is a KPI icon. So this one first of all, and I will click on add. This will be order amount, total order amount is this, right? But when I add a filter where I first apply the year is latest year, right? Add one more filter. I simply say YTD and click over here and I click on 1 to make sure it is true. So, what did I click on? So over here, you see for total year 4.1 million, 4.01, but for current year, same year, month to date is 3.18 million. Looks like maybe you are in first month or second month where your value for the month order amount is so high. But let's go over here and make sure we change it. So this is where we will come here, click on label, and we will say CYTD current year year to date order amount, right? We have created that. Now we will create one more, and in this case we will again click on the KPI, and in this KPI we will say this is a current year to date, but you may want to know what is your previous year to date, right? So what I'll do is I will again click on this order amount, sum of order amount, right? By this time you will be very comfortable, right, in creating a calculation like this using the measure field. So we will give it a label which will be PYTD order amount, okay? And now this is for previous year, right? So we need to make sure the year is set to 2019. Okay, one more. So this is the last year, so that will basically show the entire year amount. So this will be the previous year to date, that means the previous year amount. So you have almost doubled the amount. So this basically enables the comparison. Now we will add one more, and this time we will choose a different field called discount. So make sure this is set to KPI, and now we will look at discount amount, and in discount we choose average. We don't do the sum of discount, we choose the average discount. This is the subject matter expertise that one should know when to use sum and when to use average. So average discount amount is this 0.3, which is not formatted properly, right? So we will going to format it so that this is coming properly. So over here, discount amount, number formatting. First thing first is we will call it current year average discount, okay? And this will be custom. And over here, format pattern, we will say 0.0%. And this will then change 0.0%, and this should change to 30%, which I was expecting. Why it is not doing that? Let's just see. Auto, custom, we have decimal separator, 0.0%, and it should do that. Maybe what it is saying that we don't need this, and we don't need a decimal separator. What we need is simply the percentage. 0.02 percentage, current year average. Our number is set to, yep, I am doing absolutely right thing. Okay, sometimes it behaves weird, right? Because I know that this is something I prepared it for you. So current year to date. Okay, anyways, what I'll do is I'll come back to that, but I'll add the filter which is for current year. So I'll add the year filter and I'll say 2020. Okay, and then I will just try to see number. Alright, I'll choose this percentage. So that is another way. Ideally it should have done that. I have done it over there, but not an issue. We have this. So we know the current year average discount is this. Now let's choose the previous year as well. So we'll make sure that this is what we are selecting. Same thing, add measure discount amount average, right? Over here we will say previous year average discount, number formatting, we'll set it to the number and 1%. So that means not a lot of discount which is going on, and then to a filter we will make sure this is set to the previous year. And these type of things in my training, what I show is how you can make it completely dynamic, so that these type of fix we don't have to do, but for a beginner it is important to understand who have just started learning it. Now last thing, what I'll do is I'll add a filter. So I click there, and then coming over here we will choose the filter and I will add the dimension which is a state dimension. Okay, so location, state, these are the state, right? And I will make sure that I label it. This is the state field. Okay, and if it is not allowing me here, I have the, okay, perfect, it is allowing me here, state. Otherwise I could have done it other places as well, which I will show you how you can utilize other advanced options, right? So all of this is now, at least our KPIs are present, right? Simply we can do is we can start creating the trend charts, and also what I'll do is I will click on this plus icon, and this plus icon will going to help me produce the new chart, and new chart will going to be based on my date field. So I will click on date. Let's say transaction date is something what I want to choose, and for my transaction what I need is this line chart. So I make sure that this is selected, and transaction date I can add a measure which is, let's say, the order amount and sum of order amount, and it creates a chart for me, right? Now this is based on the daily transaction, where you can hover over and see on 21st of November what was the order amount, but then it goes down. So it looks like this is where your lower end is, or maybe this looks like the average, right? And certain periods are where you have the above average and below average, and that is a matter of investigation when on what are those times when the sales is above average or below average. Okay, so then let's say we want to just aggregate, we don't want detailed information, we want to know maybe by quarter. So we take year, quarter, and we add it over here. Or what I'll do is I'll delete this and I add year, quarter. So what it shows a trend, right? Like usually you have proper, but now it is going down. Again, I don't like this a lot, so what I'll choose is one more field, year, month, which is this, much better compared to, okay, so here we can clearly see some sort of a trend, right? Maybe it is cyclical, or we really need to know what's going on, why this is going up or down and stuff like that. Now, is it the case for all the scenario, or is it the case for a one particular category? So what I mean by that is, let's say we have this, what do you call, you have the reward member, right? So if I just expand this field, you can see what it has is true, false and blank. So what you can do is you can bring and drag it field as a dimension. Okay, so what it does is it basically creates for you this type of an impact where you can see those who are clearly indicated, either they are member or not, their trend is similar, but then those which are blank are having the higher order amount. So that is the another level of detail that you are having with the help of this additional dimension. So I showed you one more thing, that we added as a dimension directly onto the chart, and this is now bifurcated by the reward member, right? So that is something, another interesting thing that you can have. And then over here you have some presentation level, whether you want to show the label. If you show the label, this is what it is. You want to hide the dimension title, this one and this one, so you can hide it because it doesn't look good, and even the measure, right? So I usually don't like it, so that's why I have set it like this. Okay, then you have a lot of different options. You have sorting, you have color, all of this you cannot change this one when using the continuous dimension axis. So information, what is the color, what is the axis, so on and so forth. Okay, so you can we can explore that, but that's not the objective I am having. My objective is to give you the directly the impactful information which is useful for you. Okay, so once we have this, now this is our chart. We will create one more chart, and this time we will show the map information. So we will say dimension is city, which clearly indicated that is a map, right? And then what we will do is we will create a measure that will going to basically take the information about the order amount. So if I just expand that, use it as a measure, so then it is changed, as you can see, an impactful visualization, right? Which is basically telling us where the sales are high, here, 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 relatively better, but rest other places they are just okay. I mean, not very good sale, right? So that is something we can easily do it with the help of these two fields. And then obviously we have the labels over here, which is basically going on over here. And if you want, we can modify it from here about what are the different titles, subtitles, footnote, and all of that is given over here. Maybe let's try to see sales by city, right? So something for us to whether we want to use it or not. I think what I really like that it should do it, but I don't like such a dark color, so I'll change this to a little bit light color. Okay, once we are done with this type of a formatting, the next thing is we will create a couple of more charts. So what I'll do is I'll click here because I need to add it as a row. And now what I need is a default is coming, so I need add a dimension this time is but before adding a dimension, I want to make sure that it is a donut chart. So adding a dimension, right, we want to have a location state, and let's say the measure we want to have the order amount, sum of order amount, right? So here we provide an appropriate level, title as order amount by state. Okay, order amount by state, and this information then I will call it small or maybe extra small is what I really like, and I can change this to slightly lighter color. Okay, and we should be good. So we have this, then we will add one more, and this is also I will create as a donut chart. I will add as a dimension, and in the dimension what I'll do is I choose again state, because some state specific measure I am creating. This time I choose, let's say, order amount but average. Okay, where the average order amount is high. Looks like pretty much the same average order amount that we are getting from various different states. Okay, once we have this, then also over here we can choose whatever we want, and I am just trying to see, do we have, yeah, hide dimension title. Yeah, we don't want that. Over here I think we have hide dimension title. Yeah, we don't need dimension title for sure. Okay, So this is this, and in coloring, perfect, nothing that we need to do. Again, you have some options from styling. I leave it to you how much you want to play around with this, but I'll create one more chart for the same donut for discount. So add dimension, we have the state, add measure, which is discount amount, and average. So in which state we are giving higher discount. Looks like pretty much the same discount is something what we are giving. So in the labels, we don't want the dimension title, so this is gone, but we always want to make sure that title is present. Average discount by state, right? And there we will make sure that it is a lighter version and it is extra small like earlier, so that more focus is on the chart. Same in this case, we have not given it, so that is the average amount, order amount by state. So average order amount by state. Amount contribution also you can say, and I will just make it a little bit light, and I will call it extra small, and that way I have my information for which I can hover over South Carolina, and I can select from here, and even I can select it from here, and rest of the chart and everything will be updated, right, as you can see. Okay, once we have this, one final chart I will create it, which is about the top 5 transaction by city, let's say. Okay, or maybe we can call it state, but I think city is fine or state is fine. In my original dashboard which I showed you was state, or was city, that's where we had the city. We can create it by state as well, since this is more like a state analysis. So I'll choose, I can choose city, I can choose state, I can choose state over here, and this is a simple table. Okay, and then what do we have is we need to add a mesh. So we have this, we need to add a transaction date as well, which is, where are you? We have transaction date, which I will add it as a dimension. Add dimension, transaction date. Okay, and I will put it below to this. So the transaction date is first, then you have this, and then I'll add a measure, which is the order amount, and in the order amount I'll choose the sum of order amount. Now this is coming like this. We will just need to format it a little bit, or maybe what we can do is we can come out of this edit sheet and look at, yeah, the information is coming fine. Right now it is showing all the order amount, but what we need the order amount which is top 5. Right now we are getting all the orders, so we'll see how we can do that in a minute. So as you can see, this is how easy, and it's like in around 30-35 minutes we are able to produce something as a proof of concept, let's say, to your users. So that is something I wanted to show you, how easily with the help of this, with some relevant KPIs, comparative KPIs, information, you can produce this information. Now let me go back to the edit sheet, and then I need to work with the advanced option over here. So as soon as I enable the advanced option, a lot of different options are present. So I will call it top 5 transactions by state. Okay, and in this we have the data over here, right? We have the order amount over here, right? And in this order amount, in this transaction date, we have the limitation. Right now no limitation, but limitation we will set it to top 5, right? And we don't want to show others. As soon as I say top 5, you see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These are my top 5 for transaction for Alabama, then Florida, so on and so forth, right? And if you don't want to view this, and make sure you uncheck this include null values. There is a option over here where you can set this up. So I'll just reduce this. Number formatting is fine, alignment is fine. I'm just checking. Total is by default, whatever the total is basically coming over here, And then appearance. In the appearance we have general. There is the top 5 transaction, and I'll just check the presentation. Totals is present. I'm just looking at totals. So yeah, totals we don't want it, so it's removed, right? And then we just have to format these columns properly. So for this, again, I'll come back to data. In the data we have transaction date, field, label. I can change the label from here as well, but these, as you can see, a lot of options, so that's why it is called advanced option. So we call it transaction date. Then we call it state. What is that? Order amount. And state. Okay. And then you can come out of this by unchecking that. So with that, as you can see, all of these sheets are now prepared for your end user, where sales order summary, you have current month information, current year information, previous year information. You have the trend chart, where I would just I have shown you how you can add the title. Same way we need to add it over here like everywhere else. Also, title like this, we need to keep it same everywhere so that they are not different. Similarly, we have used this transaction date, but this should be similar to this. Title should match. Okay, and that way I can come select whatever information I need. Florida, Georgia, Mississippi. I want to uncheck Florida. I can uncheck Florida. I can uncheck Alabama, right? Let's say this is what my analysis is. Then what I can do is I can come to bookmark and create new bookmark, and we can say Georgia and Mississippi. I guess I'm reading IMS Mississippi. P, one more P, okay. And we can say order analysis of Georgia and Mississippi. Create. Okay, so this is my bookmark and I'm done. And then what I can do is I can uncheck that, and let's say I'm in a meeting. I don't want to do any selection or anything, because let's say that those are complex and I can't remember everything. I come over here in bookmark and I simply click over here. So what it does, wherever we have made the selection, it will select it. So that's how you can create your analysis, save your analysis, and get your dashboard or get your analysis in front of your users. With that, let me know how did you find it. I will going to post a lot of videos in coming days around the Qlik Sense, so that you can learn and you can practice your skills. And let me know if you want me to follow a particular topic, I can follow it. Or if you have any suggestion, let me know in comments, and I will try to improve my delivery. With that, thank you so much, and I'll meet you in the next video.